Item 6, ordinance on the table, ordinance number 19-1653, an ordinance to amend the Water and Sewers Chapter 19 of the Code of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 1 entitled In General. Resolution by council members Bazey and Abraham to take from the table for its final reading.
Okay, unanimous roll will be attached to take from the table for its final reading. I agree with your comments, but for me it was a little bit different. I think if you just look at it, I mean, I think a lot of the times we look at things and say, this is so complicated, but it's not. $30 million annually, $10 million is expensed, guaranteed, that's a third. We just received a chart Thursday that indicated the rates of the surrounding communities. And almost a vast majority have 3/4 of their rates on the use part. So just so I can clarify for the residents, the way it's apportioned, the dollar of your bill is, in the past, which has been for at least 8 years, 27% was a fixed cost, and 73% was on your use. So what happened last year, as Councilman Bazey indicated, the same data was brought forward by our water department saying there was a need for change. We all agree that that change did not work. There's companies that saved hundreds of thousands of dollars in water, where the users and the residents, the 26,000 homeowners, were actually foot the bill for that, because that doesn't disappear. It goes passed along to the residents. So this body, and the administration, asked for a change. The current change is to go from 40% of your fixed cost bill to 35, 65. 65 is the use cost. Me personally, I don't think it went far enough. As I had asked these questions even Thursday at our committee of the whole, we still have not shown that the water reduction, other than in our meetings, has indicated that it has decreased over the last 8 to 10 years. But our own director had indicated that it has leveled off. So when I look at cities in our community that charge their residents 96% based on use, 75, 98, a lot of them are in commercial areas like in the city of Warren. I just did not see, even in Ann Arbor, 82% based on use. I don't see how I can justify telling a resident that if they don't use any more water, they're still going to pay higher. We have an obligation to try to get them the best service we can at the best cost, and then take the business owner who is using the water to profit on, make money, which they should do, but they can cost it into their business and then turn around and give them breaks. As Councilman Bazey said, it wasn't just winners and losers. It was multiple commercial businesses that saved hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I don't think this goes far enough, in my opinion. I believe that we are better served to go back to the way it was 8 years in a row when the water reduction rate was much steeper at 72.28. And I don't have a problem with any of my colleagues if they'd like to amend that, but for me, 65-35 does not move it enough. And I don't agree that we should just take a shot and look at it 90 days from now. That's what we did last year, and it didn't work based on the same data. So I really think that this proposal should go back to where it was in 2017-18, where we had the same costs that have been going on. And if you just use simple math, $10 million of $30 million is 1/3. So there's no reason that we should charge the fixed cost more than 1/3. But I'd open up the floor if anybody has any discussion. If not, we can go through with it. Jim, just one more question. This list of 28 neighboring communities, you've looked at this because you sent it to us?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So you do know that out of the 28 communities, if we go with this proposed rate, that we would be the 3rd or 4th highest out of 28. There would be 26 or 25 cities that apportion the fixed rate significantly lower than ours.
That would be true at the old rate too.
It'd be true.
At 27%, 73. So that would be a pretty high compared to that. And it's hard to compare other communities. I don't know what Warren does. I don't know what some other communities do. I think a legitimate question is, why don't we evaluate that and bring that back to council as we're looking at the effect of this rate to see if we want to change and do something different significantly?
That's a good idea, Jim, but that's what we were supposed to do last year. And then we had residents coming in with water bills 25, 35% increased because the money that the company saved the hundreds of thousands of dollars when they opened their bill. I mean, Councilman Bazey had indicated that if you had a $1 million increase in your business and water bill, you're going to find a way to reduce it. So I'm wondering what they did when they opened their bill and see that they saved
We've had this-
700,000 and 600,000.
We've had this
That we had,
discussion
that, I know, but
numerous times.
you're saying, let's try it and we'll
No,
figure it
I'm
out
not saying
again.
let's try it. I've said we spent a lot more time on it,
Than last year.
a lot more time on it.
Mr. Clerk, can we have the final reading?
Yes, this is the final reading of ordinance number 19-1653, an ordinance to amend the Water and Sewers Chapter, Chapter 19 of the Code of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 1 entitled In General.
Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please, Mr. Clerk?
Councilmember Herrick,
Yes.
Councilmember Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham,
Yes.
Councilmember Bazey.
Yes.
Council President Pro Tem Sareini.
No.
We have 4 yeas, the ordinance passes.